Okay, welcome back to Hopper's YouTube channel. This is going to be the part 2 of taking the gun apart, and we've already been over electrical and all that other stuff, so we're going to take the battery out of it, and then we are going to take the bolt out of this thing. All right, get my right Allen wrench here, and that is a metric Allen wrench. So, all right, it looks like, all right, we're gonna have to use the Allen wrenches that are in here. I can't find my set of Allen wrenches. Like I say, we normally don't do stuff like this in the computer lab. So, I'm kind of doing this with our hands tied behind our back a little bit. All right. So you get 2 Allen wrenches with the gun. One is small, one is big. All right, for the bolt on the back of the gun, there's a little silver screw right back here. Okay, this screw is specific to this gun. All right, you got to make sure the air pressure is released. Okay, if you start to take this screw out and you hear a little leak or something like that, stop, tighten the screw back down, turn the gun on. Turn the eyes off where you get the real fast blink. Pull the trigger. That means the gun is holding a shot of air. Okay? Doesn't necessarily mean there's a paintball in the chamber, but there is definitely air charged. So, we don't have to worry about that with this gun because this gun just came out of the box. So what you're going to do, what I like to do is I like to take a finger and press against that, and the screw comes out a little bit easier because there's no pressure on it. There is a spring in there, which we're going to show you in just a second. But whatever's the easiest for you is the way you should take the screws out, okay? Now, when we take this screw out, you're going to notice on the very end of it, there's a tip that doesn't have any threads on it, okay? That means that this bolt, this screw, goes into the back of the gun only, okay? Some of the older guns, if you tried to put that screw up here, and it will fit, that tip would go through your circuit board and your eye board and ruin it. So make sure you put the right screw in the right place. There's only 2 screws that hold the grip frame on. This one and the one up here in front of the trigger. So make sure this screw, very important, goes back into the bolt. Okay? Now, once you get that screw out, just pull the bolt out, okay? Now, regular bolt. Sometimes it wants to get stuck up in here, but come on. Big old fat fingers don't want to do it right. All right. Oh, a little piece of hair. All right, there's the other piece of your bolt. Get a rag. All right, now you're gonna have to reach up inside here. There's a spring in there. Just push your finger up against the screen, pull it right out. Okay, that's your spring. Now, before we get any further, when you put this back together, this piece just slides right on that piece just like that. Okay, boom, boom. The spring goes on one way. There is a right way and there is a wrong way. So if you put it on the wrong way, as you can see, it doesn't clip, it doesn't do anything. That's wrong. Flip the spring around. One end is smaller than the other. So what you're going to do is push it on and you want to hear a click. All right, you'll feel the click more than you will. Now it will, and I didn't click it good. Come on. There we go. Now when you pull it off, it's going to hang on to the bolt. Okay? You'll know you got it wrong. Let me take it back off. Okay, you know you got it wrong if you put it on there and the bolt just wants to keep falling out. Okay? If it doesn't stick. So make sure, small end, click. It won't fall off. Okay? Now, this is called a inline poppet. Right here in the back of the bolt, there's a poppet. So when you make your velocity adjustments here, all you're doing is you're putting more tension on the poppet to make it shoot harder. Okay? No, shoots softer. The more pressure you put on it, the lower or the higher it's going to go. So on the back of it, it has plus and minus. Minus is going to decrease your feet per second, and positive is going to increase feet per second. Okay? Like I say, at our field, it's 285. All right? So we're going to leave that right here, and here's what we're going to do. Now, this gun does not need lubing, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lube it up to show you how to do it. First thing you want to do is you want to clean all the old grease off of the gun. Okay? Just get it all nice and shiny again. All right? And just make sure there's no more grease on the gun. Okay? Now, these guns, if dirt, drop paintballs on the ground, pick them up, put them in there, dirt gonna get on it. Dirt gets on this spring. Okay, what's that gonna do? What's dirt gonna do to your bolt? It's gonna scratch it, and it's going to tear it down, and then the gun's not gonna shoot correctly. Okay, so if you drop paintballs on the ground, leave them on the ground. Okay, no matter how much you think you've cleaned them, dirt is still going to be on the paintballs. So you drop them in the dirt, leave them on the dirt. If you drop them on your table, that's a different story. They haven't hit the dirt yet, so unless your table is super dirty, you can reuse them. All right. Today I'm going to use some Planet Eclipse grease. No, I'm not. I'm going to use the, it's called grease. What this is Dow 33 is the name of the grease. Okay. So what you want to do is these O-rings here, you're going to put a little on your finger. All right, now wait. The correct way to do this is you'll notice that, I hope you can see this on film, you'll notice that the O-rings do not go from side to side tightly, okay? So there's a little gap. The correct way to do this is what you want to do is you want to put enough lube on it to fill in each side of the O-ring, okay? And then once each side of the O-ring is done, put a little bit down here. And then just whatever's left on your fingers, put it on these. These are called static O-rings. They don't move. Once you get it into the gun, they don't move again. So we'll put that there. Then we're going to take our bolt. We're going to get just a little bit more, and we're going to do the same thing on the two O-rings that's in the back. We're going to put a little on there. We're going to spread it out. And we're going to make sure we have a good coat on either side of the thing. Poppets, with this being a poppet gun, poppets are a little more forgiving if you don't quite put enough on there, more so than spool valves. Okay, on the tip, you want to just put just a little bit on the tip. Okay, and then that's it. That's all you need. Okay, we're going to stick that right back on the end of the bolt. And we're done with lube. That's the only lube you have. That's pretty much all the maintenance that the end user, you, need to do. Okay? Anything else that needs to be done to the gun, if you bought the gun from Hoppers, we are the authorized service center for the Mini GS. Bring it to us, and we will take care of it for you. The warranty on this is so good that most of the time, well, the gun is so reliable, most of the time we don't have to order parts. Most of the problems that people have with these guns are generally from not lubing it or just not cleaning the gun at all, okay? Normally, a good cleaning and a good lube usually takes care of all the problems that happen to these guns. Now, the one thing that I will tell you that you do have to watch out for is if you're breaking a lot of paint inside the gun. So, you've got two little holes in the top of the gun. If you look down in there, you can see them. I don't know if you can see them on camera or not, but there's two little holes down in here. That is where the eyes or beam brake shines across that registers when a gun is in the breech, okay? So if you break a lot of paint, There's nothing covering those holes like glass or plastic or anything like that. So after a certain amount of paint is broken into the gun, paint will start getting in those holes. And you can clean it out and the gun might work again. But if a lot of paint has gone in there, that means that the eye board, which is here, has got paint all in it now. So paint is a little corrosive when it comes to small metal parts, not stainless steel screws or anything like that. But the eyes are, which we'll show you here in a minute, the eyes are soldered on to the main board, and the two little legs that stick up, those get corroded and shorted out, and then the eye system completely quits working, and you have to order a new eye board. Not expensive, they're only like $30, and if you do need one, order it. When it comes in, bring it to me and we'll put it in for free, okay? And that's just one of our courtesies for buying the gun from us. We take care of the gun, we take care of the customer, okay? The only other thing that goes wrong with these guns is sometimes the solenoid gets stuck. I think we went over that in part 1. If you didn't see it, go back to part 1 and listen to it again, and you'll find out everything there is about the solenoid. All right, now, there's a little notch right here, okay? Hopefully you can see that on the video. There is a little pin right here. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to line that notch up with that pin, okay? And it just pushes right in there. Line up the two pieces, push it together, put your screw back in it that holds the bolt in place. Okay, once the tip part is in there, which it apparently was not right then, you can actually let go of it. I like ball ends. The ones that come with the gun are not ball end. They're fine. There's nothing wrong with them, but I like the ball ends because I can lean it a little bit more and still achieve a good snug tightness on the board without scratching the back of it. Okay. So if you've got ball end Allen wrenches, good job. All right, we're just going to tighten this up right quick. All right, good and snug. Don't over tighten. Remember, this is aluminum, okay? You don't need to really crank down on it. When you go to register your gun, I forgot to put over this, right here on the side of the gun is the serial number. They're going to ask you for the serial number of the gun. They're going to ask you who you purchased the gun from and how much you paid for it. Hopper's Paintball. Just put down Hopper's Paintball and Airsoft. And they'll take care of you. All right. Been a lot of controversy on this little tip here that I'm going to give you. Okay. So there is a way to make the Mini GS shoot quieter and it's softer on paint. So it doesn't kick as hard. It's a modification that over the years I came up with. I've been doing this for years, okay? So I made a previous video of how to do it. And everybody loves it except for maybe 3 people, okay? So let's address that. The 3 people that don't like that modification, it has nothing to do with the modification. They are instruction manual maniacs. If it says do it a certain way in the instruction manual, that's exactly how they want to do it. And any variance from the instruction manual, they are totally against, and they send bad, I don't know if you call it reviews or comments about the procedure. All right, so let me ask everybody out there right now, to these people that want to leave those kind of comments. Did you change the muffler on your car when you got it? Did you change the brakes? Did you go to Advanced Auto Parts and put Advanced Auto Part brake shoes on your car? Or Advanced Auto Part spark plugs? They are not in the owner's manual, okay? If you read the owner's manual to your car, they want you to put OEM brake shoes, spark plugs, and everything else on it. Now, those parts cost twice as much money. That's why they want you to do it. But if you buy you a nice truck You take it to the muffler shops, you have a nice sounding exhaust put in it. That's not what's in the instruction manual. So it's not going to hurt the gun. It's just going to make the gun shoot softer and quieter. Doesn't do anything to the gun. So those people that want to criticize that, oh, that's not, it says it's in the manual, we've got to follow the manual to the letter. Okay, do it. That's totally up to you. But if you want to try the modification, do it. And I'm going to tell you what that modification is right now. Okay, so the velocity adjustment on the gun is right here in the back. So the way to do the modification is there's a recessed area right here. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to put your Allen wrench in there and you're going to turn it out until it is just under flush. Okay, you don't want it flush and you don't want it out any further than that because it could, there's an O-ring back there and that O-ring could leak. So you want it just before flush. Okay, then you're going to get a chronograph, which we supply, and you're going to turn this until you chronograph the gun to 285 feet a second or less, however you like to shoot it. Okay, so it usually requires turning the screw out a little bit. All right, fire the gun a few times and then start chrono it. You're going to immediately notice, if you fired the gun first, that the gun is now not kicking as hard, and by golly, it's a little quieter. I like a quiet gun because I particularly don't like people to know where I'm at when I fire a shot at them. And if you've got a quiet gun, you can pretty much achieve that, staying stealth. If you got a gun that's really loud, they're going to know exactly where you're at, and unless you got them on that first shot, you wasted the opportunity to get them. But if you got a quiet gun, you can still sneak around a little bit and keep shooting at them, and they won't know where you're at. Okay? That's just me. Now, every Mini that we have sold in probably the last 3 years has had that modification done to it with the permission of the customer, and we've gotten 0 complaints on that mod. So that's a modification that we do. If when you buy one of the new Minis, if you want that modification done to your gun, let us know. It takes 5 minutes. We'll be able to do it for you, and you'll be happy with it. Okay. All right. So now in the next video, we're going to take the gun. We're going to separate the grip frame from the top half. We're going to pull the eye board. We're going to pull the solenoid out of it, and then we're going to go from there. So stay tuned for part 3. Thanks for watching.